Thank you for accepting your invitation to serve as a faculty member for the Quad AI annual meeting. The annual meeting is the premier educational opportunity for clinicians, researchers, trainees, students, and allied health professionals involved and interested in the study of allergy, asthma, and immunology. And your participation as a faculty member, whether you're moderating or speaking in a session or multiple sessions, is integral to the quality and success of the meeting. By accepting your invitation, there are a few responsibilities you're accepting that will help to make the meeting a success. In this video, we're going to review some of those responsibilities. The first, and one of the most important, is updating your financial disclosure record. This is required for two reasons. First, the Code of Ethics of the Academy mandates it. Also, the annual meeting is a certified continuing medical education activity, and the rules that govern accredited CME require that all faculty members in a CME activity provide their financial information and that it is reviewed prior to the event taking place. To do this, you can visit the Academy's online disclosure system at the address shown on the screen. If you're a current Quad AI member, you can log in using your existing Academy username and password. If you're new to the Academy's website, follow the on-screen instructions for establishing a new account. As I mentioned, it is integral that your financial information be updated and reviewed prior to the meeting taking place. We encourage you to do this as early as possible. If it gets later in the year, if you have not updated your record since July 15th, please go in and do this right away. Your financial information will be reviewed for every session in which you are participating. So if you're participating in multiple sessions, it will be reviewed multiple times. If the review suggests there may be a potential for a conflict of interest, you will then be notified by email the cause of the potential conflict and any steps that may be necessary to resolve it. In addition, during your session, it's required that you disclose your financial relationships to the learners prior to starting your presentation. We do this in two ways. First, a disclosure slide, which the Academy staff will provide for you and which will appear at the beginning of your presentation. Second, we also ask that you verbally provide your disclosure information, and this is especially important if you are participating in a session that does not have audiovisual equipment. Next, we also ask that you review the Speaker ToolKit. This is our online set of faculty resources, and this video is the first of those. Also on the page, you'll find a document that includes explanations of all of the different session formats that are included in the meeting. Please take a moment to review this and compare this with the invitations you received so that you understand the expectations for the type of session you're being invited to participate in. We also have some resources that will help you with preparing for your session. We have a few documents to review as you're going through the planning process, some that will help you to design the content of your presentation, as well as the Quad AI's Lifelong Learner Bill of Rights and our CME mission statement, which we share with all of our learners, and they describe the expectations and the content that they can expect in the activities they participate in through the Quad AI. We also provided you with links to two online educational resources that may be of use: the National Faculty Education Initiative and the ABCs of Accredited CME. These are designed to help you as a faculty member better understand the rules and regulations that govern accredited CME so that as you're planning your presentation, you know that your content will meet those requirements and help us provide the highest quality of education to our annual meeting delegates. Handouts are a very important part of the meeting. We repeatedly get feedback from our attendees that handouts are really essential to the success of the meeting for them and for their learning. We provide you the opportunity to upload handout materials in advance of the meeting, and we also make these available to learners in advance of the meeting. You can do this through your Speaker Corner. This is the site that you visited when you accepted your invitation. Later this fall, when it is time to start uploading handout files, you'll receive an email with a link to this site, and as you'll see on your screen, there will be a portion that asks you to upload your handouts. If you click the button where the red arrow is pointing, you can then upload multiple files if you wish to support learners who attend your session. Please note that handouts do need to be uploaded in PDF format. We'll go over quickly some of the dates. This information will also be available to you later. But handout upload will begin on November 21st. This is when you'll receive that email inviting you to visit your speaker corner. January 7th is the cutoff to have your handout files included on the flash drive that we distribute on-site to all attendees. There will be more opportunities to provide handouts that can be available on the website, but anything uploaded after January 7th will not be included on the flash drive. There are some session types in the annual meeting that do not have audio-visual support available. For these, we do provide hard copy handouts. These include any seminar sessions you may attend, whether they're at breakfast time, lunch time, or late in the afternoon. Also, any problem-based learning sessions do not use audio-visual support. So for these sessions, we do offer faculty the opportunity to produce a handout that will be printed and distributed in hard copy at the session. For seminars, we will print a single page, double-sided, so that the two discussion leaders leading the seminar can collaborate to fill the two sides of that document. Or if you are helping to lead a problem-based learning session, we will provide hard copies of the case materials that learners will be reviewing in the session. So if you're participating as a faculty member in one of those types of sessions, in order to guarantee that we have your hard copy materials available, we do need those uploaded by January 27th. On January 31st, the online handout library will open for meeting attendees. So everyone registered for the meeting at that time will receive an email that they can start visiting the online handout library and downloading any materials for the sessions they plan to attend. This is not the absolute cutoff to provide materials. We will still be able to add to the online handout library after that, though. You will have until February 17th to upload any handouts that will be available to delegates before the meeting or on-site at the meeting. In addition to uploading your handouts before the meeting, you can also upload your presentation files before the meeting. This is also done through your speaker corner. As you see just above the upload handouts control, it will be an upload presentation control. Presentations can be uploaded in PowerPoint format, and you will be able to upload one presentation for each of your invitations. The deadlines for these are similar to the deadlines for uploading your handout files. Presentation upload will also start on November 21st. Again, you will be notified by email with the link to your speaker corner to facilitate providing your files. And February 17th is the deadline to upload a presentation file into your speaker corner before the meeting. Now, the advantage to uploading your presentation file through your speaker corner before February 17th is that all of those files will be available in the speaker resource room when you arrive at the annual meeting and come to the convention center. It eliminates you needing to remember to load it onto a flash drive and to come on site with a flash drive in hand. You will still be able to review the file on site and make any edits on site if you wish. Now, if you have any special presentation needs, for example, if you're going to be using a presentation format other than PowerPoint, or you know you will need an internet connection at the podium in your session room, please notify the Quad AI education staff as soon as possible after accepting your invitation. Also, if you're speaking or moderating in a seminar, in a problem-based learning session, either workshop or seminar format, or if you are participating in a panel discussion workshop, please note that audio-visual equipment is not available in these session types. When you review the outline of session formats, you will see the explanations as to why this is the case. In seminar rooms, you will have a flip chart with markers, but again, if you need any special AV requests, please notify the Quad AI education staff. A final few responsibilities for both speakers and moderators to consider as you're now preparing for your participation in next year's event. First of all, for the speakers, prior to the meeting, the primary responsibility is to develop an appropriate presentation. This means that it's designed for the target audience of the meeting. and that it addresses the learning objectives of the session, and these will be available to you in the session description that you receive. Also, we do ask that you submit all of the required materials to us by the designated due dates. This includes the disclosure statement, which we discussed earlier, and also the handouts and audio-visual presentations. One other piece of information you may be requested to provide would be if you are participating in a session that is being recorded for our virtual annual meeting, we may request one or two multiple choice questions based on your presentation to be used for that online learning activity, and you would be notified separately of that. Now, for session speakers during the meeting, it's very important that you check into the speaker resource room. We ask that you check in at least 2 hours prior to the session in which you will be presenting. We ask that you, if you've not already uploaded your presentation slides before coming to the meeting, that you bring them with you on site, or if you have already uploaded them, you'll have the opportunity in the speaker resource room to review them and make any final edits. Also in the speaker resource room, there will be a podium set up where you can practice presenting your slides just as you would in the session room. So running the podium software, launching your slides, using the mouse to highlight information on the slides. We do ask that you take a moment to do that before your presentation. And then when it gets to be time for your session, we ask that you arrive to the session room at least 15 minutes prior to the session start time during the session to provide fair, balanced information, including that verbal disclosure and the presentation of your disclosure slide if you have audio-visual support in your room. For moderators, we also ask that you help us by accepting a few responsibilities prior to the meeting. Primarily, this involves working with the speakers that are confirmed for your session. This can mean working with them to help them develop appropriate content for the session. This may mean helping to facilitate communication between the faculty, either via email or, if you would like, staff can work with you to schedule a conference call to facilitate that process. And then also helping to remind the speakers of the deadlines for providing the necessary material, whether it be presentation slides or handout materials that have been agreed upon to support learning in your session. Now, on-site moderators also have a few responsibilities. We ask that you also check into the speaker resource room, just as with speakers, at least 2 hours prior to your session. You'll also have the opportunity to rehearse at the podium. This may be necessary if there are awards or other special presentations as part of your session that you may be asked to facilitate. During the session, moderators have the bulk of their responsibilities. We ask that you also arrive to the session at least 15 minutes before start time. We ask that you work with the faculty to provide fair, balanced information, helping to remind the speakers before the session to provide that verbal disclosure, and also reminding them of the disclosure slides that will appear before they begin their planned presentations. We also ask that you take a role as manager of the session while it's taking place. When you arrive in the room, Quad AI staff will have at least left on the podium, if they're not able to touch base with you personally, to deliver a set of moderator announcements to be made for the audience before the session begins. So please take a moment to review those. You'll also be asked to introduce the speakers. Keeping the session on time can be very important. We don't want to interrupt presentations if we don't have to. We definitely don't want to interfere with the flow of information and the learning that's taking place. But as you all know, there are a lot of activities taking place during the meeting, and if sessions run significantly over time, it can interfere with our attendees being able to participate in all of the events that they've signed up for. And finally, if there is a question and answer segment in your session, we ask that you help to facilitate that, taking questions from the audience and also helping by repeating questions into the microphone, especially if there are not floor microphones in the audience. This helps to ensure for sessions that are being recorded for our virtual meeting that our online learners hear the questions and the answers just as clearly. Finally, just a last few pieces of information that will help you as you're preparing to attend next year's annual meeting. First of all, some details about registration and housing. As an annual meeting faculty member, you will be pre-registered to attend the meeting. In October, you will receive an email from our registration partner with your registration confirmation and your confirmation number. Please hold on to this information. You'll want this especially if you are interested in signing up for any ticketed educational sessions being offered at next year's meeting or any other ticketed events that are not part of general meeting registration. You will need to log into the registration site and add those yourself, and you will need that confirmation number to make sure that all of your registration information is recorded accurately. Also, on our website, you will be able to find information about making your housing reservations and also about making any travel arrangements. As a faculty member, you're invited to use the Quad AI's travel agency, Carnival Travel, to book your airfare. They can be reached toll-free at 800-747-5387. You're certainly free to use any travel service you wish, but Carnival Travel does often have special discounts available for annual meeting attendees, and we do encourage you to at least contact them as a first point of contact. Second, as a special thank you to you for volunteering your time and effort to plan and help to make the annual meeting a success, and for taking the time to view this informational video, we are going to be holding a random drawing on February 27th for all of our speakers and moderators who have taken the time to view this video. The winner will receive a Barnes & Noble gift card, and this will be distributed to the winner on site in the speaker resource room when you check in. So to confirm to us that you viewed the video and are eligible to be placed into the drawing, please send us an email at cme@aaai.org. Make sure we have the correct spelling of your name, the date on which you watched the video, and we will enter your name into the drawing, and then when you come to next year's annual meeting and check in at the speaker resource room, if you are the winner, there will be a Barnes & Noble gift card attached to your other registration materials. Finally, we want to thank you one more time for accepting this invitation to serve as a faculty member for the Quad AI annual meeting. We truly appreciate the time and effort that all of you put into making the meeting a success, and we look forward to seeing you at the Convention Center.